Do you smell that? It smells like desperation. Assalamu alaikum, welcome, bonjour, and ahlan wa sahlan to my channel. So glad you're here. Today we're going to talk about how not to be thirsty. Now, I'm thirsty. That's not the type of thirsty that I'm talking about. The type of thirsty that I'm talking about is thirsty for attention. Now, what you have to understand is that attention is food. Think about newborn babies. Think about how they need attention and affection and they cry if they don't get it. Think about women, by their innate nature, the way Allah has created us. We want attention, but we want to get the halal, lawful attention and not the attention that is going to cause us heartache, heartbreak, pain, distress, and so on and so forth. So if we go back to the roots of why people seek attention, children do it, adults do it, everyone does it. No one is exempt from wanting attention or affection or acknowledgement or recognition or praise or any sort of ego stroke. Everybody needs it, and it can be healthy. But then if you're too dependent on it, it can be unhealthy and actually very unattractive. So, what are the dangers of being thirsty? Well, one of them is that if a guy, now we're talking in the context of relationships, of women and of men, if a man discovers that you are thirsty for attention, he is going to manipulate that and possibly exploit that to his own advantage. If he's an opportunist, which of course a lot of men are, because hey, everyone likes stuff for free. What I want to save you from is years of heartache, heartbreak, and not to fill yourselves with spiritual junk food. Now, attention is a kind of an emotional food, but then there's the healthy, wholesome granola type of emotional food. And then there is the junk emotional food, is those quick, cheap thrills of getting attention by being the most loud and the most obnoxious, the most promiscuous, the most whatever it is that you're doing to seek that validation and that cheap shot of attention. How not to be thirsty? Firstly, think of a female that you really admire, look up to, and think she's the bomb.com. Someone that men admire too, and imagine how she would respond to breadcrumbing. How would she respond to unreturned calls? How would she respond to a person giving her less than she deserves when it comes to respect? And how would she tolerate being disrespected or ill-treated or made to feel like she's unworthy of the wholesome granola love and attention and affection? Of course, she would not take it kindly to being ignored, or a person flaking on her, or a person saying they're going to follow up and they do not. Would she put up with what you tolerate? If not, try to emulate her behavior and actions of self-respect, scarcity, values of self-esteem, integrity, all of these things. If you can emulate those qualities which you admire in this woman, then almost surely you're going to be having high value qualities yourself. And you know what? Sometimes fake it till you make it. You have to practice. Practice makes perfect. So keep trying. Keep working at it where you're building yourself up to this ideal of how you would like to be treated, and don't settle for less than that. This immediately would send off vibrations and impressions and energy from yourself, which is not seeking that cheap shot of attention. That will show people that you're not thirsty. The only thing you're thirsty for, if it's a hot day, like it usually is in Durban, is a glass of nice ice cold water. Next, put yourself first. As women, this is not what we've been taught. We're always self-sacrificing, and I'm telling you to stop. Say no. Be assertive. Don't be nasty. Don't be cruel. Don't be mean. But do be assertive and do say what's on your mind in a polite way if it benefits the situation. Put yourself first, and people will initially not take it well because they've been so used and conditioned to using you, possibly exploiting you, getting away with stuff that you are too scared or afraid to say no to. So they will call you selfish, they will call you self-centered, even if you do say yes and do good to others. By putting yourself first, you will have to say no and add that to your vocabulary a lot. But just remember, saying no to others is saying yes to yourself. And it's about time that we do a bit more of that than just being the self-sacrificial lamb that is the doormat upon which everyone treads. Then number 3, don't accept last minute dates. Look, if I highly prescribe you having halal dates and doing it the Sharia compliant way, and you're having arrangements to meet with your parents, with your family in public, not alone. I don't care where in the world you are. I know your family's not always with you. I've had that experience. I've had to get to know a person before I married them, and there was no family at all in the entire country because I was in England. What do you do if someone arranges a last minute, hey, what are you doing tonight? Hey, what are you doing tomorrow? The day before is last minute as far as I'm concerned, and as far as you're concerned. It needs to be pre-planned at least 2 days in advance. Honey, you're not a puppy on the side of the road waiting to be picked up by a good home and taken and petted and fed. You're not homeless. You're not on the sideline with a stagnant, static life that is going nowhere. And if you are, you should change that, okay? You should be having places to go, people to meet, things to do. And if you don't, you should be. And then some guy might have the audacity to bring up the spontaneity card. Hey, oh, come on, don't be such a drag. Oh, why aren't you spontaneous? And then they make it seem like you're a drag and you're boring. Honey. I've got so much going on that the fun in my life does not warrant being spontaneous for you. You need to be strong. You need to hold your ground. You need to stop being so desperate. Do you smell that? Hello, darkness, my old friend. It smells like desperation. And it never smelled so unattractive. You can be sniffed a mile away. Guys know. They have experience. More experience than you give them credit for. And you like to make yourself out to be the unicorn. And that you're different. And that he won't see you in that light. He's been and he heard and spoken to too many women to be that naive. It's you who are naive. And you need to understand that you cannot let him think that you are living a boring life. And that he's the only thing that you've got going on. You're going to come across as desperate. You're going to smell like desperation, and that is off-putting. He may not appear to be put off. That's because he's waiting to strike. When he's waiting to strike, he's going to get you for what you're good for in his eyes, which is a pump and dump probably, or just to get used, manipulated, abused, exploited, whatever it is. But you need to set the tone and say no. So that word spontaneity, he's using his lack of respect for your time as a slight to show you up as boring. Don't fall for it. Don't fall for the spontaneity card, ladies. Please tell him you've got more exciting things going on than to be spontaneous for his last minute ditch effort. I promise you, he will have so much more respect for you and your value will up in his eyes, and that's what you want, because you do not want to be taken for granted, and you do not want to be mistreated or made to feel like you're worthless, because in the end, once he gets what he wants, after you go, yes, please, okay, I'll come with you, okay. Ever ready battery, Duracell, come on, honey, you're worth more than that. Be ever ready battery for your own dreams. Be ever ready battery for starting a YouTube channel. Be ever ready battery for reading a pile of books. What is this? Vegetarian. Be ever ready battery for doing stuff that you love, spending time with your family, with your children if you have any, with your mom, with your dad, with your cousins, with your friends. Spend time changing lives, spend time influencing people, spend time spreading goodwill and changing this world, making it a better place. Do not spend your time running after people who really do not have any respect for you. For people who do not have any respect for your time. And here's the fourth one, darlings. Do the things that ignite a fire in your soul. Do the things that make you happy, that put you on a high feeling. Do the things that make you feel happy about life and make you feel positive and make you feel like you're contributing and make you feel fulfilled. For me, it's surfing. For me, it's talking to people, making them laugh, making them happy, doing makeup, making other people look more beautiful, doing their makeup, doing arts and crafts and doing sports and working out, and find out the things that you love that make you happy. Cure common diseases, like replying immediately to texts because you've got nothing to do and you're bored and you're waiting on this Prince Charming to save you from your miserable life. No, they can sense that. You need to be able to have your own life. When I'm out in the sea surfing, I have no way of checking my phone, which means that if anyone wants to reach me, even if it's my own husband, he knows I'm out there living my life, enjoying myself and having a good time. If he wants to join me, he's more than welcome to, but if he does not, I'm still gonna go. My life and my world and my existence and my happiness and my fulfillment does not depend on him, and it should never depend on a man, whether you're in the beginning stages of getting to know someone or whether it's far advanced and you've been married for 30, 40 years. Be independent emotionally. Emotional independence is the key to your happiness, and you owning your happiness and not putting it in the hands of somebody else. Because when you put your emotional happiness and your stability into the hands of someone else, you will for sure be disappointed, because no one should be in charge of that much control over you and of your state of mind. So instead of replying immediately to his text, because my darling, if you're out there living the life that you should be living, you'll feel lucky for getting a response from you when and if he does. But waiting for his call, waiting with bated breath for his text, girl, you ain't waiting on nobody. Nobody waits for you. You don't wait for nobody. And if anything, he should be waiting for you. Being idle, moping, being depressed, no one is adding value to your life when you're like that, and no one will want to add value to your life when you're like that. Yes, they may make out that they're gonna add value and make you all sorts of promises, but not until they've exploited you and used you for what they want. Hopefully they will not, because you will not allow them to get to that point. No, you won't. But they may make, oh, everything's cool. He's just reeling you in. So you want to add value to your own life. You want to be your own self-generating reservoir of happiness, or your own electrical generator of happiness. You want to be the one that is creating and igniting this fire in you so that you can be so happy. Almost dropped my butt. So you can be so happy and so fired up that you just want to jump out of bed every day, and you want to go and exercise, and you want to go and have fun, and you want to go and meet your people, and you want to go and have the best life possible that you could possibly have. And that, my friends, is true badassery. So when emotional load shedding hits, girl, you will be too lit to notice.